So there's so much more I could say. This is really just an introduction, but thankfully the TCM Academy has put in place an ongoing opportunity to explore some of these issues more deeply. Revolutionize healing from traumatic stress, integrating acupuncture and Asian medicine with neurobiology. So this will be an ongoing course, limited class size. It'll include 4 recorded videos, including this one, and 2 live meetings. There's a link right there. You're going to get this this set of slides tomorrow in your email box, but and also the information that, in the spirit of reparations, want to invite all Black and Indigenous people of color to take 20% off your fees using the code Alaine20. So I'm just going to give you a little overview of what we're going to explore. The next video will be on the polyvagal theory. We'll explore the interface of polyvagal theory in both the Shen and the Ko cycles of the 5 elements. And we'll explore the kinds of diagnosis and treatment plans that can emerge when we bring this interface of Western science with acupuncture and Asian medicine. It's a little story. I reached out to Stephen Porges to write a endorsement for my book, The Tao of Trauma. And I sent him the introduction and the table of contents and the chapter on polyvagal theory. And he wrote me back and he said, "Thank you for building a bridge between polyvagal theory and acupuncture and Asian medicine." I was so moved. What a wonderful guy. And then he said, "By the way, I hope you don't mind, but I made some comments in your chapter on polyvagal theory." So his close attention to the accuracy of my presentation of polyvagal theory influenced the rest of the book and left me with a very warm spot in my heart for Stephen Porges and the wonderful humility and contribution that he's made, in particular to the impact of pre and perinatal trauma on adult morbidity and mortality. Wonderful, wonderful guy. Then we'll have a live class, a half-day live class, where we'll explore Eastern physiology of trauma. Because the curious thing is that those 5 steps of the self-protective response that have been defined by neurobiologists are actually reflected in the 5 elements of acupuncture and Asian medicine. So when we bring the wisdom of the correspondences of the 5 elements and the diagnostic information of the 5 elements to our work, it can refine the lens that we look at our patients through and make it easier for us to access and understand our patients and how to work with them and where to guide our treatment planning. There'll be some skill development groups where we'll learn about the felt sense and explore the felt sense in relationship to the energetics of the 5 elements to support our diagnosis and treatment. Then there'll be another video, cultivating interoception in body, mind, and spirit, and exploring coherence. So what we know is that Qi follows awareness. The more that we can cultivate awareness, cultivate the felt sense, the more we can help Qi return to tissues. And when the Qi is in the tissues, it's supporting balance and regulation. It's the nature of Qi. Then there'll be a 4th video, principles of practice, ethical considerations. People who are trauma survivors are particularly affected by shame, dissociation, and confusion. And those dynamics make for our special attention in order to offer both effective and ethical treatment. We'll explore all of those dynamics. And then we'll have another live class, another half-day live class, and we'll look at capacity building in the kidney adrenal system for signaling threat. So learning how to distinguish threat from safety and helping people expand their capacity for arousal. And we'll look at all the other tangential dynamics in the water element and the kidney heart axis around epigenetics, impact of Jing, impact of trauma on Jing, the influence of community arousal and regulation in the kidney-heart axis. And we'll have breakout groups that learn this kidney-adrenal hold that's shown here in this picture as a way of enhancing capacity in the signaling center for threat. And close with a favorite story of mine. I used it in the preface to the Tao of Trauma. It's by Margaret Reed MacDonald, 3-minute tales, stories from around the world to tell or read when the time is short. So here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you. One day, an elephant saw a hummingbird lying flat on its back on the ground. The bird's tiny feet were raised up into the air. "What on earth are you doing, hummingbird?" asked the elephant. And the hummingbird replied, "I've heard that the sky might fall today. If that should happen, I'm ready to do my bit in holding it up." And the elephant laughed and mocked the tiny bird. "Do you think those tiny little feet could hold up the sky?" "Not alone," admitted the hummingbird, "but each must do what he can, and this is what I can do." So I want to invite your little feet to reach up into the air and do what you can do. Do what you can do to mitigate the impact of trauma in our communities, our families, our coworkers, our friends, and help create the world that we all want to live in.